Today I'm celebrating Richard Feynman, who was a physicist in the 60s and 70s. That's when he really came to prominence. Who was known for having very out of the box thinking and a multidisciplinary approach that enabled him to, pick apart problems that other people felt quite stuck with for some time. And what I particularly love about Richard Feynman, like a lot of the people that I admire on here, there's someone who I was able to only become familiar with via the beauty of YouTube many years after their death. And I would never have known about him had I not been able to see him and hear him speaking. But one of the things I really, really appreciate and admire about that man was the breadth of his personality. His ability to speak very animatedly on all sorts of different subjects. It's funny because I find that, it's probably a crazy thing to say to make comparisons, but I do find that the physicists of the modern age seem to lack a bit of breadth of personality. Richard Feynman is someone who I can imagine being able to have amazing conversations with at a party at 5 o'clock in the morning around a campfire. Someone who has a very sharp sense of humour, probably very broad-minded and open to all sorts of different influences. And I think that is part of what enables such characters to be able to have such insight across the board, depending on what it is they're talking about. And I particularly fell in love with Richard Feynman's films about education and the way in which we can teach science to children, how children have got this natural curiosity and how they are born scientists. And there's a very interesting series of films that I have tried to get parents to watch, because it can make such a difference to the culture of a school or educational project that one is embarked upon. Unfortunately, I've really struggled to get parents, to watch things, because I suppose a lot of the time they're combating the time pressures of all the other things that go on into maintaining and managing a family. But it's a shame, especially in the home education environment, because there is such a wealth of insight coming from people like Richard Feynman that is there for the having if we only have time to look out for it. So today I'm celebrating Richard Feynman, not only for I'm not really qualified to venerate his capacity as a physicist, although clearly he has been influential in many, many ways, but it's really the humanism that he brought to this very specific discipline of which he became a master. So celebrating Richard Feynman.